Welcome back. For those who don't know me, my name is Lotfi M'Rad. I'm an intuitive, and even if I set a subject like today, I'm going to talk about solar activity, among other things, something will come through, and that's what I'm going to say, and that's what I'm going to be in the video. That's also how I work. And yeah, that's basically it. So let's just dive into this. There has been a very strong solar storm, blast of plasma in our direction, because the sun is bursting all directions, of course, but sometimes it's straight at Earth. And so what you may have experienced today was headache and tiredness, just tiredness, not having done much and just being tired, not able actually to do much. And that's not laziness, it's not because it's summer, no, it's solar activity. And for those who already have an open mind, you may already know that our sun is not just transmitting plasma and photons and X-rays. They are light codes. It's a frequency, it's an energy, and we are in a phase with a rise of frequency on planet Earth, but also a shake-up. In this transition from the dark ages into the light ages, there's always a phase in the change where there's friction, there's resistance, there is fight for survival by the one who's losing, who's going to be replaced. And so this is why we see on Earth so much aggression. And yes, when there is a lot of intensive solar activity, and you can just look at the calendar every 11 years, but also in an even heavier cycle every 22 years, you see shit happening on planet Earth. More aggression, more anger, more wars, more conflict in general. And we already have been building up to this with an increase of polarity on our planet. And some people may say, yeah, because the poles are going to shift. Well, politicians don't give a shit about that. They just care about their own. Those who try to control the world and have been for a while care only about themselves and about their control and their dominance. So you will see a lot of information. Some of it is true, some of it is half true, some is totally fake. And sometimes they give you the true information, but that will just put a bar on top with false information, corrupting the whole video. And this is done by a lot of different people. And this is all part of this period of transition. Like I said, the losing part is doing everything to hold on to power. And yeah, basically that's it. Look at the Roman Empire, how it collapsed, what happened just before it collapsed. Look at any empire, what happened just before it collapsed. Even the Nazi Empire, it was very short-lived, but it had all the phases of what we're seeing now playing out in a little bit longer, or maybe actually the same duration. Well, depending on what you consider to be nowadays the power that is collapsing, whether it's a certain country, whether it's a group of countries, whether it is a attitude/mentality, a financial system, a political system, a social system. There are different ways of looking at our planet now. But it doesn't matter how you look at it. Change is happening. And therefore, it's so important to stay centered. not to let all these different energies, these entities, these beings, these people pull you, because you will be pulled into all different kinds of directions and at the same time. And back in the days, there used to be this way of torture and execution where they would tie up somebody between four horses, hands and feet, and then each would go into a direction. And that's what's going to happen to you if you let all these different parties affect you. They may affect you superficially if you're working on yourself. So you may get a little bit irritated and something like, oh, so this is happening. And then you're like, oh, no, wait. But if you really dive into things, you'll be torn apart. So dedicate each day some time for yourself to ground, to recenter, to reconnect with your heart, to reconnect with your soul. Maybe you have been doing this already for many years, and then you may have noticed that you need to do it more, that you cannot skip anymore. You cannot skip a day or a week because you will feel the effects. Having this discipline is crucial now. That's why I'm organizing this program where every week we meet at a fixed time online. There's no recording, there's no watching back. No, I expect you to take care of yourself and to dedicate to yourself that fixed time each week. Put your priorities straight and say, no, that is me time. That's the time I'm taking care of myself, where I practice certain things, where I learn new things, and where I connect with other people who are on the same path as I am. You'll find it in the description. It's called Ground and Go. And it's about much more than just grounding. And it's important to do this daily. Weekly, I do this 1.5 to maximum 2 hours meeting, but daily you need at least 2 times, 5 to 10 minutes. It can be a walk with a dog, or maybe with your partner, but in silence then. Connecting with Mother Earth, connecting with nature. The best is to do it by yourself. No distractions, phone on silence, and just be in the here and now. There are many different techniques that you can apply. I've described many of them on my website. Under tips and tools, you'll find them, but I'll also teaching them in these meetings, reminding you of what you probably already know, helping you fine-tune it so that it really works well for you, because there's not just one way of doing it, there is your way, the best way for you to do it so that you have the most benefit from it. Take every day this time. Some people that I know meditate every day for 2 hours. You may say, oh, way too much. Well, even for me, it's not so easy to do that. Definitely not every day. But then I found ways of doing it. Laying in a warm bath is one of them. And then I can do it for an hour, hour and a half, sometimes even 2 hours. A long walk in nature, that works for me. For me, sitting still for 2 hours is not my thing. That's okay. And that's why I'm saying there is not just one way of doing things. There is the best way for you to do things. And that's why I'm teaching many different methods. That's why I'm using many different tools to help guide you into you finding what works best for you. And I do that in all my workshops, in all my trainings, in all my sessions. I help you find the best way for you to do things, to understand things, to meditate, to ground, to find answers to questions that you could not find before. It's very important that you focus on what's best for you. And this is not an egoistic thing, it's not a narcissistic thing. This is you taking good care of yourself. Because you realize that if you do not take care of yourself in a good way, how can you be a good support for others? Or how could you enjoy life? I hope this video has helped you remember to take good care of yourself, or inspired you to start doing it. And as always, asking for help is a smart thing to do. It's the stupid people who think they can do everything by themselves and don't need anybody else, or that is a sign of weakness to ask for help. No, it's a sign of strength and smartness. If you pay attention, all the really successful people have at least one coach, one mentor at any time. Yes, you may change coach, you may change mentor, but they have people who help them hold a mirror, people who help them get feedback, sometimes just being a soundboard, sometimes discussing something in depth to help get more clarity. So feel free to contact me if you feel that maybe I can help you discover who you truly are on the inside, remembering it or bringing it up to the surface, or realizing what is your purpose today in this life. Yeah, I'm said today because our purpose changes over time, adapts to the situation in our lives, situation in the world, to our abilities, because we have been growing and evolving. There are so many questions that we want answers to. So I'm sure you have several. Don't keep them hidden. Start looking for real answers. Like, subscribe, and share.